Hello and welcome to what's it called? Hang on, is it possible to start over?
Blastoff.
I'm sorry. Camper Blastoff. Okay. Hello and welcome to Camper Blastoff. I am Ari Friedman, along with my partners Max and Chris. Today we got 3 topics for you. We're going to start you off with whether or not the Giants can maybe make a surprising run at October this year. We're going to start you off with you, Chris. You're a Giants fan. What do you think?
I think they might be able to. It depends on whether the bullpen wakes up from like a disastrous year last year. And this week we've already blown 2 1-0 leads. And it was all because of the bullpen. Our starting pitching has been pretty solid, but our bullpen is not good. And I think that a boost in our bullpen would definitely be a very good boost to our team, and we could do something big, like win another ring in the next 3 or 4 years.
Let's just slow our roll here, okay? San Francisco, this is not going to be one of those years when they make the second wild card and somehow win a World Series. The pieces are not there this year. I did like the addition of McCutcheon. I think he's a very good player, but as you're saying, you're blowing saves to teams like Houston that don't even have their top 2 players playing. Like, if Marwin Gonzalez is beating you guys, then I don't expect, like, the Dodgers, Rockies, and Diamondbacks, I think, are the National League West.
And if Tyler White is beating you guys know you're in trouble.
Yeah. So I don't think the National League West is so deep. I don't think it's deep enough to say 4 teams are in the mix overall.
Yeah, I agree. I think they won't make it this year. Anything's possible in September. I don't think they're going to make the postseason, but they could have a hot September and come close. But next few years, they'll get better. If they're healthy, they'll be better.
Yeah.
All right, now we're going to move on to NFL. What we're going to talk about here, specifically the NFC champions. So they're both going to give us their 2 teams. They think they're going to be there, and why. So let's start with you.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be actually the New Orleans Saints versus the Philadelphia Eagles in the game. I don't believe in hangovers all the time. Atlanta didn't have a hangover last year. They went to the postseason. I know they lost in the second round, but the Eagles are still there. And if we can win, and the Eagles can go to the Super Bowl and win without the MVP of last season, Carson Wentz, and how do they not go to the Super Bowl this year? I think New Orleans is a really sneaky team, and I had decisive choices between the Rams and the Saints. But for me, it's down to Jared Goff versus Drew Brees, and I'm taking Drew Brees any day of the week.
I think, Chris.
I think it's going to be a game between the Philadelphia Eagles and the LA Rams. I honestly think it's going to be the Rams. I think the Rams are going to have a great team. Even though they might not have Aaron Donald next year, they're still going to be one of the best teams in the NFL, in my opinion, and probably the best team in the NFC. I don't know if they're going to win the Super Bowl. The Patriots might win the Super Bowl again this year, but I don't know. Anything can happen if you are in football and in the NFL playoffs.
And I'll disagree with you for a minute because we saw it, and I went to the game last year. When the Eagles played the Rams, it didn't really go well for Jared Goff. Carson Wentz got hurt, and I thought it was over for the Eagles, but guess what? Jared Goff came in the fourth quarter when Nick Foles was the opposing quarterback, and he turned the ball over twice, late in the game. So I haven't been able to trust Jared Goff. Other than Todd Gurley on the Rams offense, I don't really have it. And Brandon Cooks is a good addition, but I don't think Goff is at that potential to go to the Super Bowl yet.
Yeah, my personal opinion, I'm gonna have to go with him. I'm gonna say Saints and Eagles, and the Saints are pretty good. They also recently they got Tom Savage as well as a backup, just in case Breeze either gets injured or he can be a Nick Foles type of guy. He was good on the Titans. But personally, I think it's going to be Eagles and Saints. So now we're going to move on to baseball again. We're going to talk about the league MVPs. Very tight race in both, I believe.
Yeah.
There's 2 or 3 good contenders. So let's start with you, Chris. Who do you think? Let's start National League, then American League.
Okay, National League MVP. Oh, man, this is tough. There are so many great players in the National League, so many great teams. Though I think the NL MVP personally, even though I'm not a huge fan of this guy in person, I think it's probably going to go to Bryce Harper. The reason why is because Bryce Harper, in my opinion, he's a good player, but I don't really like him as a person, and what he did to Hunter Strickland, last year. I mean, come on. Come on. That's like Little League.
Yeah.
But still, I think Bryce Harper does have a very good chance of winning the NL MVP. AL MVP, it's going to go to Chris Davis because Chris Davis is just so good. Not Chris Davis of the Baltimore Orioles, Chris Davis of the Oakland Athletics. 3 straight 30-homer seasons. How can you go wrong with that? Just how?
Let's go over to you,
Yeah, I'm
Max.
going to disagree with you completely. How is Bryce Harper in the conversation? He's hitting under 210. He's been so consistent all year. There's much better National League players like Nolan Arenado who keeps getting snubbed every year. My personal opinion, I really hope it's Javier Baez because I think Javier Baez is this guy that no one expected to have this turnout year. We all expect something from Bryce Harper, and he didn't. He disappointed at least me this year. His team doesn't win, and he's a part of that struggling team. I think Baez, if you have Baez, then he can play 3 different positions. And in the American League, I have JD Martinez. Just because you say Chris Davis, JD Martinez is winning and consistently hitting home runs. So you can go there.
All right, good debates, guys. I think it's going to have to wrap it up for us at Camper Blastoff. For Camper Blastoff Radio, this has been Max, Chris, and Ari signing off for now.